Hi, my name is Jim Callari. I'm the editorial director of Plastics Technology magazine. I'm joined today with Kevin Huntsman, senior vice president of Mastio and Company. Plastics Technology is going to be doing a series of blogs over the next few weeks on emerging film markets in the world of polyethylene. And our stories are going to be based on research that Mastio and Company has done. So Kevin is here to talk a little bit about Mastio and Company, the history of his polyethylene market study, and also the results of the most recent study and some methodology. And then we're going to go right into a little Q&A on our first blog, which is on stretch film. So Kevin, why don't you tell me a little bit about Mastio and Company, how long you've been doing these studies, what your methodology is, and really what is the 30,000-foot view of your most recent study.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today. So the Mastio polyethylene film study, we've been publishing that study for nearly 30 years. Mastio and Company has been in business since 1989. The polyethylene film study continues to be one of the most popular market studies that we publish. Obviously, polyethylene is a good place to be. So the market study is very popular, not only with the resin producers themselves, but distributors, converters, private equity groups looking to enter into the market as well. So I think one of the keys, Jim, with the Mastio study from a methodology perspective is that we utilize what I'll call primary research, where we do the research ourselves. So we have a team that's based here in the Kansas City area that focuses on this particular market study. And we make all these calls ourselves, talking with a myriad of different people within the organizations, from marketing to engineering to procurement to sales, to get a full picture of a company's presence in a particular market, what kind of growth they expect, what types of resins they use, et cetera.
So you're actually speaking with the film processors. You're not making projections or indicating growth or anything else based on happenstance. These are actual buyers of polyethylene, actual film producers who are part of this process.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct, Jim.
And when did you do this most recent study? Was it 2019?
So we actually published the most recent study in March of 2020. So we published in late March. The data collection would have began in the latter part of 2019, Jim, into the early part of 2020, with, again, the published date in late March. So it's relatively new. And we do the study, we conduct this study about every 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years is the schedule that we're on.
Anything compelling that came out of your overall polyethylene study in terms of consumption versus 3 years ago?
I mean, obviously there's been growth in certain areas. I know we'll talk about stretch film momentarily, and that happens to be the largest market in the PE film study. I think one of the things, Jim, that was more prevalent in the discussions we had were areas around sustainability and companies putting together their sustainability plans, working with the resin companies, working with their end consumers around sustainability. So that was a section that was new this year that we included. Obviously, that will continue to be very prevalent in future market studies in film and other areas where we do research.
Okay, so let's dig a little deeper into stretch film. Tell me some of the compelling things that you found there, some of the takeaways from our audience that might be in stretch film, that might be looking to get into stretch film. You know, one of the things I remember, I've been in this business for a long time, when I came into it 30 some odd years ago, stretch film was considered a commodity market. Not so anymore. These are very, very highly complex, highly engineered co-extruded films. So what are some of the takeaways from the stretch film portion of your study?
I would concur with everything you said there. Even in my lifetime of Mastio, with the last 24 years, there's been a big shift in the stretch film industry. One of the things I mentioned earlier, it is the largest study, or excuse me, the largest market in our study at well over 2 billion pounds of polyethylene on an annual basis, Jim. One of the things that I think is interesting, you talk about people looking to enter the market. What we've identified are the top 4 players hold approximately 70% of the market. So those largest 4 players hold a significant share. Then it's fairly fragmented from there on. And I think one of the things, too, that over the last few editions of conducting this study is to break out of the stretch hooder film. So the hood films become much more popular. If you walk along the aisles at Costco or Sam's, you start to see packaging that's different for bottles of water or larger bottles of Gatorade than you would have seen a number of years ago. So the technology's improved there, and will continue to improve. And I think the innovation for that is there. With obviously you want to down gauge as much as you can. So the mantra is always, how can we do more with less?
Right, right. So with so few players dominating and having such a disproportionately high market share, in your judgment, is there any way for a smaller company to make a difference in terms of product differentiation? Is that something that is feasible in your mind?
I think it's feasible. It'd have to be a niche type market. I don't think more of the broad base type market. That would be more of a challenge. This is like any market, and we'll talk about it probably every time we talk, is mergers and acquisitions and M&A activity. I mean, all one has to do is read the articles. Your magazine is sitting on my desk right now, and there's always articles about the M&A activity occurring in the space, and we see no slowdown. And as we come out of, sooner rather than later, hopefully with some of the COVID-19, and you're going to see a shift in business, and I think you'll continue to see a high level of M&A activity.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kevin. For anyone tuning into this, please read the blog. It will be about stretch film. It'll be the first of 10 that we're going to be doing on various polyethylene film markets. Each blog will have a link to the Mastio website. So if you want to go there and look around for more information, you are certainly encouraged to do so. I hope this was informative, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.